It's a little loud. Hi. Hello. We're getting everyone in. Lorena, your video is off.
How do you turn it on?
That is a good question. Let me see. Ask.
Okay.
Hi. Hi, Savannah. That was me waving at you. Let me see. Let's see. Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Giselle.
Ilya, can you see me?
Wait, who said that? Is
Stanley.
that Stanley? No, I cannot see you.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my God. Oh, Lorena, now I see you. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Jennifer. I was going to say Jay Rodriguez. Jennifer.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's see.
I'm SLD.
Yeah. Stan, I don't see you.
Okay, I'll try to figure out how to click the camera on.
You only, for some reason, have your microphone. I mean, it's okay. If you can hear me and you can see it, then we're fine.
Do you know how to turn the camera on?
Let me see. Is that Caroline? Who's driving? Who's that? Ugh. Okay. No, it's Hey, Barbara. Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I just want you to be safe.
I am driving home as quick as possible.
Okay.
So,
Well, we're starting at 4:15.
okay, I have time then.
Yes, you
All
do. So just get off and focus on driving.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Lord.
It
Hey,
keeps
Reynard.
switching to people's views.
Hi. Hi, Russell. Okay. So just hang in there, guys. It's my first time doing this. Hi, Adam.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
We're actually in luck because I was sick tonight anyway, so this works.
Oh. Someone's cooking. Sounds like someone's cooking. Hey, Mel.
Hi. Oh, sorry, that's my dog.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Hey, Danute. Hi. Stanley's back, but no video. Stanley, can you see the screen?
I can see you, I can see Adam, I can see Zachary, but I can't figure out where the camera to turn it on.
So, how I did it is in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah.
There's a picture of a video camera, and I clicked on that.
Yeah, I don't have that. Oh, here, maybe here. Let's see.
Oh, there's Brent.
Oh yes, the calls. I was wondering who the calls were. The
The calls.
Hey Bryce. Giselle, what are you giggling at?
Did your camera work?
No, I'm on there.
Okay, can you check?
You think it's this one?
Somebody said, I can't talk, been studying in the library.
No, the problem is you don't have a camera icon. Just a second.
As long. Let's see. That was Bryce, but he can hear. Okay. Okay.
And you know what? Why don't you leave the meeting and come back again?
Okay. Elia, I'm going to leave the meeting and come back again. Maybe I can turn it, my camera on. Just
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Sorry, I just read Giselle's. Just Bryce, you're not anonymous. We can all see you.
Oh, I'll grab my headphones.
I have my headphones on. Okay, we have 20 out of our 29 folks here. Oh, never mind. Sorry, Kat, Jared, Stanley. Sorry. Let me see.
It's like the computer, but it rotated the face shoe.
I turned it. Because I thought it was funny.
Hey, Kat.
No, see, that red button that says not working.
Yeah.
So it's stay right there.
Oh, that's awfully close. Yes, hi.
We're kind of getting to see everyone's homes, kinda, if you're not in the library, which is kind of cool.
No, I'm at home.
Yeah, I'm at home. I'm in my home office.
What time is it? 4:17.
Just there. Do you need to go somewhere?
Right.
Yes, the library is home. Yes, Russell, you are visible.
Yes.
Sorry about the barking, guys. I'm in my room, but he's
It's
still
okay. It's okay.
My cat says hello.
Oh,
Okay. Who's the phone number?
Me.
Who's me?
That's descriptive.
Paul.
Who's the phone?
Oh, it's me, Stacy.
Saul.
Oh, hi, Saul.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, almost everyone's here. Eric. Okay, I think we have everyone. Okay. Okay. So, hi, everybody. We are holding our last class session from, it seems like we got libraries, we have living rooms, bedrooms, offices. This is my office. And it's a hot mess. Because I've been decorating, and, you know, my office has kind of turned into a winter wonderland where we're storing things. Anyways, thank you so much for agreeing to meet online. You know, I'm just kind of trying to take into consideration kind of, you know, everyone's concerns, and it is a scary world, and, you know, we're just going to still keep on going. Our final should continue as well, unless we get any other information stating otherwise. Okay. Are there any questions thus far before we start going into our we're good? We're good? I'm hearing phones.
I'm good.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Hey, Richard.
Hi.
Okay. Eric, do you have a second business going on?
Not that you know of.
No. Okay. So let's go ahead. It says Giselle Yoon. I saw that. You drove right past me. Okay. Got it.
Didn't bring the Starbucks.
Oh, yeah. Well, guess what I got? Oh. Okay. Erica's joining us. Okay. So let me go ahead and see how. Oh, now Barbara is joining us as well. Barbara, you're still driving. That's not safe.
No, I'm like looking parking right now, and my husband's gonna take the kids right now, so we're good.
Okay, are you sure you can come back? I'm literally, the first thing we're gonna do right now is evaluations. So if everyone can go ahead, and I'm trying to figure out how to do a split screen so you guys can see my screen.
Huh.
I know. Like, can you guys see my screen right now? Like,
Yes.
No.
No.
We can just see your webcam. We can't see your screen.
okay.
Switching around for
Gallery view.
Help. Oh, the only other thing I thought was that here it says PC and then it says front table, back table. Does that mean anything?
It's this front table
Oh,
and
okay.
back table. These are the connections.
I keep
It's what should happen.
It's a learning experience for everyone, right?
It's jarring.
And we're flexible, right? Okay. If you could please go to this. I'm typing it right now to everyone, this website, and go ahead and, who did that?
Whoa.
That's me. So all you have to do is click the share button at the bottom of the thing.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa, Jared.
Jared. Oh, this is awesome, Jared. Look at that. Hold on.
So we take it to another room.
Can you guys see my screen
Yeah.
right now?
Yes.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Seeing
I don't need to see.
Jared is a hero.
Ray can't see on. We'll see if we can fix it.
Okay.
For some reason, it's not connecting.
If you could please go to this website right here and go ahead and do your evaluations right now. It should be about 7 to 10 minutes. Anything that you found helpful, please go ahead and put that on there. Anything that you feel like can use some improvement, please, by all means, go ahead and add that as well. Also remember that I am Cuban and be gentle.
I can do that.
Okay. I don't want to cry in my car.
Do it.
Great. You guys are mean today.
Just kidding.
I'm kidding. Okay.
Professor,
Yes?
can I get that link sent to an email since I'm on the phone and I can't see your
Yes.
screen?
I will go ahead and do that right now,
Thank you.
Saul. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Can do this online.
Sorry.
Let's see. This is not working very well.
It's because some people don't have the audio on.
Hey, Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh, her fitness is terrible.
Some people are just calling in, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
If Ray comes down, I'll let him know.
Okay.
Richard, you're back.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay. Saul, I'm still trying to, I'm almost done sending it to you, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, stop. All right.
Okay, just sent it to you.
All right, got it.
Cool, thanks.
Okay, let's see what he's got on our desktop.
No. I don't even know how to get back to Zoom, guys.
Oops.
I see Richard. Hi. See Kat. But I don't know how to get to see everyone.
I think there's a button you can click to stop sharing, right?
Help, Jared. Help.
Jared.
I don't know. I just there was a button and I
stop
just clicked
share.
it. Yeah.
Jared, you're awesome. Thank you.
Whoa, what's that? Okay, all done.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, won't be needing it.
Barbara, you should probably go into your house.
It's
saying.
okay. If I go to my house, it'll be so loud. I don't think y'all want to hear that.
Okay. Okay, is there someone that is still working on it?
I'm almost
Okay.
done.
1, 2, just raise your hand if you're still working on it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Keep going. Thank you. Keep going.
How do you see everybody?
Magic. No, seriously, there's a button right here and it shows everybody. I can take a screenshot of you guys, but I'm not.
Oh yeah, let's not do that.
Don't.
I can't take a screenshot of me.
No.
No webcam. You can't get me.
Yes, I know, Jared.
Do it. Right foot. What's?
Yes, Barbara raised her hand. Barbara, do you want to say something?
Oh no, I was just messing with the button. Sorry.
Got it.
Oh.
I was trying to figure out what that was.
Okay.
But now I know that you get a message. I can.
Yeah, it says Barbara raised her hand.
Okay.
How do you do that?
You go on like where it says more, and then it says raise hand.
Reynard is not amused. He's just like, he's like, hurry up, guys. Okay, is there anybody else that's still filling it out? Okay, let's, almost there. Okay, while we're doing that, let me go ahead and share the next screen, which is going to be of the PowerPoint. Let me know if you guys see it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let's go ahead and discuss the final and what's going to be on that final. So the topics that you should be really well versed in are the areas of problem solving, communication skills, differentiated assessment, wink, wink. It says here, adaptations, modifications, extensions, and accommodations, but I'm really going to, I'm actually going to delete that. And I'm going to ask that you really become well-versed in the area of adaptations and accommodations. If not well-versed, please make sure that you have notes that address that. So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. Also, universal design for learning. Understanding special educational eligibility categories. I believe we covered that during either our second or third week. So please make sure that you have notes from then, IEPs and IDEA, and then a really strong sense of family perspectives and frame of reference. Actually, I'll write that here. Okay. Are there any questions?
Do you want to turn your microphone off? Sure.
Yes, no, maybe so.
I have a question.
Oh.
Okay. If you could just say your name, whoever like says I have a question, and then just say your name.
I have a question, Kat.
Oh, hey, what's up, Kat?
Is it a written final, or is it something that we're doing together as a group? Or
I'm glad that you asked that. It's actually going to be a scenario format, and you will go ahead and fill it out as a group. You may use notes, you may use your book, any readings, anything that you've that I've given to you guys, made accessible to you guys, as well as the PowerPoints, and again, your textbook. Those are all fair play. And we are starting our final at 5 o'clock. But our class potluck party is going to be from 4:20 to 5 o'clock. If you want to come, don't feel like you have to come.
It'll be fun.
Danny Tay, was that you?
Yes.
Yes, it will be fun. I mean, but again, don't feel like you have to come. Okay? Questions?
Can we use laptops?
Yes. In fact, it is highly encouraged that you do bring your laptop. And the reason why is because I am going to make the final available on Canvas. And then someone in the group is going to go ahead and download it and then upload it onto Google Drive. So that way everyone fills it out and contributes to it. Let me see. I have a couple. Do it. Anyone want to split? Okay. So what I'm going to ask of everyone to do right now is if you go ahead and go onto your Canvas page. Let me go ahead and go to your Canvas page and then go onto the area where it says people. Can you guys see? You're going to click on people. You're going to click on case study final. And then you're going to go ahead and get into a group. You cannot have, only 2 people can be from like the same current group. So you're going to really have to mix it up. Okay? So here's the case study final, and you're going to go ahead and get into groups. So I suggest you start either chatting with each other, texting.
Professor.
We need to go ahead and get these groups done right now. So when we come for next Tuesday, we're good to go.
We can't see the web page. We still see the PowerPoint.
I can't leave the screen.
Give me 1 second. Let me see. Can you guys see me even when when I
see you right now.
Huh?
We can see you right now. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, when the screen's up, we can see you too as well.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay, so again, you're going to go to people. And then you're going to go to case study final. And then you're going to go ahead and join a group. So Savannah is in group 1.
Woo, woo.
Enthusiasm. Okay. Bryce, I'll do it again. Okay. So
can we look at the?
Yeah, hold on. Look at people, and then you're going to go to where it says groups. Mine says case study final, and then you should be able to access.
So we just click on any?
Yeah, you're going to go ahead and drag your name onto any group.
Professor?
Yes?
I only have everyone in groups.
I think it looks different on her screen than ours. For us,
Yeah.
I think we just see groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see now.
There's a join button that we click on, I think, instead of dragging.
Yeah.
Can we see who joined in each group?
Yeah. So group 1 is full. We have Brent, Daniel Tay, Savannah, Eric, and Kenny.
Represent group 1.
I only see one
Mel
person
is in
so
group
far
2.
in that one. I don't get it.
Professor,
Yeah?
I'm having trouble. My computer has been acting up and I lost my pointer, so I can't do anything.
Let me see. Which group do you want to be in, and I can add you?
Well,
can't view those.
I want to be in group 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Group 1 is full.
Oh, it's taken. Okay. Well, then it doesn't matter what group I can do.
Okay.
Whatever group. I just can't do anything on my computer.
Yeah, I can't seem to move mine either.
Okay, so Anna, you're in group 2.
My thing's tripping.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Kat?
Could you put me in group 5? I can't seem to make mine work.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Mine keeps saying switch to. I don't get it.
Okay.
Can you put me on 2?
Hey, I'm on.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, hold on, guys. Oh, hey, Stan!
Sorry. I had help.
You made it. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Get distracted really quickly. Okay, Kat.
In the mood.
Okay, Kat, you want group 5?
Group 5.
Okay.
I thought I had added myself to one, but I don't know.
Richard, 1 is full.
Yeah, no, I didn't want 1. I just wanted whatever, but I don't know.
Okay.
You added yourself. Are you Richard Romero?
Yes.
You're group 2.
Well, I am in there?
Yeah.
Oh, I just picked randomly.
Okay, Case. Yeah, Case.
So I'm there?
Group 2 is full.
All right, I'm there. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
I put randomly too.
Sorry, I was logged down for a minute, so I missed like the last 3 minutes.
Who's saying that?
Stanley,
Oh, what's up, Stan?
am I supposed to pick somebody?
You're supposed to join a group for the final.
For next.
Could you add Zach to 5?
Yes.
He got disconnected.
Zach is in 5. Oop, no, sorry. Hold on. Zach is in 5.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Your screen looks better.
My screen?
Yeah.
What we see is kind of weird.
Oh. Okay. So hold on. So group 6, Stacy, you're here?
I'm here.
Oh my gosh. Do you have your camera on?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, don't worry. I was just like, you're very quiet. Okay, so Stacy, Jennifer, Zach. Shoot, hold on. Zach, I was supposed to add you to 5.
5.
Yes, thank you.
Zach, I'm sorry.
I think I'm leaving. Add Zach.
Okay.
It's because I don't know what happened, but I'm like in 3 and it locked me out.
Oh.
Oops.
Okay, hold on. Zach, you're in 5.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was in 5-2 and then it took me out for some reason. And then it said join group 3 and it put me. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Damn, that's a trip.
You should be able to get into group 6. That one's still open.
Okay.
Yeah, because technically I was in group 2 at first because that's when I was telling Richard, like, hey, I see your name.
I
Richard.
think it's because it's people are like doing it and then it's booting. It's like whoever goes first.
No, so I think
so
you have to refresh to see it.
It's getting glitchy. Yeah, I had to do that. I figured that out.
Jared, what would I do without you?
Well, it booted me out and it joined group 5 and then it booted me out and it's saying join group 3.
Okay, is there anyone that has not joined a group?
I have not joined a group.
Okay, Stanley, I am going to put you in
Where's
this.
Marsha? Is Marsha Robles?
Robles.
Oh, Robles.
Okay.
Can I go into 3?
Hold on.
Yes.
So I am on 2, right? Si estoy ahí, I do have one.
Who is saying that?
Richard? I am, right?
Richard,
Okay.
you're in 2.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Mahoney, I have a problem.
Who is? Oh, okay. Barbara.
Yeah. So I was originally in group 2.
Okay.
However, I saw 2 of my group members, so I went out of it, and I went to group 5, and it booted me out, and now I'm in no group.
Can we add you to group 3?
Yeah, come on in, Barbara.
I guess. Yeah, sure.
Come on.
Let's join in.
Okay. So we're missing. Caesar, are you here? Caroline isn't on here. Okay. Caroline, I know you added yourself.
She's still unassigned.
We'll take Caroline. Cat.
You'll take Caroline?
Yeah,
Okay.
why not? Cat.
Oh, Caesar, he's joining. Caesar. Okay, so Caroline is going into group 3, and then Caesar, we have either group 3 or group 6.
Hey,
Join group 3.
Okay,
Group 3.
done. These are our groups for the final. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine.
That was really weird how it booted me out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Unless someone didn't want me in their group and they took me out.
I don't think it's like that. I really don't think it's like that.
I'm really knowledgeable, you guys.
Wasn't us.
We
You
know.
Say that
We're
to
part of the
system.
brain.
Yeah. Okay, so are we ready to go over the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, let me see.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. So again, we're having our potluck earlier in the day. Feel free to bring something, and if you don't, it's cool. We got you. We will go ahead and make it work. Okay. Okay. So we were supposed to do our peer review lesson. However, we're not going to go ahead and do that because, we're not in the same physical space. So we're going to actually skip that. And we're going to go to the last section of positive behavior support, which is that top 5% of the triangle. It's really for students who experience significant, pervasive, challenging behaviors. It is very much occurring very frequently. It is really, again, high in duration, intensity, often long-term. Planning occurs, and there's little small gains. We think of it as like the Titanic. We like go forward, a couple of steps, and then we go back more. But you know what? It's honestly that frequent ongoing progress monitoring that helps to really support these students. And again, it happens in 1 to 5% of students within a school setting. Okay, so when we're talking about challenging behaviors that fall in that top 5%, we're talking about again, behaviors that really are impacting a student's quality of life. It is really impacting their access to curriculum, access to communication, access to getting their basic needs and wants met. And again, I believe I said this last time, but challenging behaviors are communicative. Challenging behaviors or behaviors in general are thought of, if you've ever seen kind of like that, an iceberg, and there's like the tip that's like sticking out, but then there's this whole entire chunk at the bottom of the water. The tip is kind of like what we see, and that's how the student is manifesting whatever they're feeling, the behavior. But then really there's so many underlying factors that we need to take into consideration. So again, the need driving the behavior is not the problem. It is the way that they're trying to get that need met. So I have here, is wanting attention a bad thing? No, we all like to get positive attention. However, if we are, hitting kids or we're disrupting class to be the class clown, that does not go very well. That was a joke. No. It's okay. It happens. It's fine. I know. We're like dragging ourselves to the finish line. Okay.
Indeed.
Missed the joke.
So types of challenging behaviors. Oh, hey, Caroline, you look so comfortable.
Hi.
You look very comfortable.
You
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, again, types of challenging behaviors that we're looking at. We're looking at aggression to self or others. We are also looking at property destruction, throwing desktops off desks, throwing them across the room, throwing staplers to windows, whatever it may be. And also, depending on the intensity and frequency, we can include off-task and disruptive behaviors to that list, as well as refusals. Okay. Please let me know if I'm going too fast or whatnot. I can only see like a couple of you at a time, so I'm not, if you have a question, say, hey, Elia, whatever it may be. Good?
Good.
Okay, cool. So again, what is the purpose of behavior? So remember how we talked about the acronym SEAT? This is something that you should really kind of circle on your notes and make sure that you bring it with you for our last class for the final. But again, we're looking at sensory, escape, attention, or tangible. So with the attention component, again, the student may be trying to get attention from peers or adults, or they're trying to be, accepted or be part of a group. And in order to do that, they're having to misbehave or show whatever, allegiance to the group. Also, when we're looking at tangible, we're looking at the student trying to gain access to a preferred activity, an item, or a location somewhere within their environment. We're looking at also control over an environment or their lives. They're trying to, many students who have very significant pervasive disabilities oftentimes don't get a lot of self-determination. They don't have a lot of autonomy to make their own decisions of like what they're going to eat, or kind of those decisions are made for them. And so sometimes students will try to exert that control through behavior. I used to work with a student with cerebral palsy, and one of the ways that she would let us know, like, I'm upset, I'm not going to do this, is during feeding times. When we would go ahead and feed her, we would go ahead and bring the spoon towards her mouth, and what she would do is she would go ahead and close it, or she would go ahead and spit it out. Very, very much we learned that, she was communicating, I'm upset. And because she is someone with such limited physical mobility, the only, kind of movement that she was able to have control over was her mouth and her saliva. So she was able to really, let us know, like, I'm upset over something, and this is what it is. Okay. Again, students will also, Adam, you're not wearing glasses. You look so different. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Students will also try to escape or avoid unpleasant situations or people. There are some paraprofessionals that may be too hands-on, or they're talking to students in not so respectful manner, and so students will not want to work with those paraprofessionals. And then there's also sensory, kind of everyone defaults to that as the reason why challenging behavior is occurring, but we really need to make sure that because that's the easiest one, input and reinforcement, whether the lights or the temperature or the clothing or whatever it may be, we want to make sure that we really rule out all the others. And not just go straight to sensory, especially when it is about a student with autism. A lot of people will say, well, it's their sensory challenges that they are the reason why they are exhibiting these challenging behaviors. Okay, questions?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just had a little comment.
Yes, Kat.
Kat. I worked at Leachman last week. And
last week?
Yeah.
Cool.
And one of the students, evidently when he falls on the floor and he has a tantrum, they take him outside and then he comes back in. But if he does it more than 3 times, they call the dad.
Okay.
And now they're trying to figure out how to undo that, because now he's realizing that if he does that, he gets to go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, because he's nonverbal, that's how he was
he's using
showing what he wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely. He's using the part that he can control, which is to kind of throw himself on the ground. But what we say is that that's negative reinforcement. So the staff have been negatively reinforced by the student. The staff have learned that, they're trying to, they have the best intentions. They're trying to make sure that the student, has some room. And so they take the student out. But then the student has been reinforced that every time that he's engaging in that, then they're going to call dad, or they're going to call that. So this is escape / attention. So escape from the whatever situation is occurring, and then getting attention from dad, but it is a vicious cycle. Okay. Negative reinforcement is a vicious cycle.
What would you suggest to do in that case? Because we were trying to figure out what's the best thing to do.
Right. It takes a couple of steps. Actually, I lied. It's about 5 or 10 steps, but I will go over them. Okay. Because when you have challenging behaviors like that, it's not a one quick fix. It's a lot of different components that we really need to take in place. Richard, are you leaving?
No, I'm putting some stuff away.
Okay, got it. I get very distracted, guys. Anyways, what was I saying?
5 steps.
5 to 10 steps. Yeah. It's the same thing when you have a toddler and you're in the market line. And the toddler is crying that they want a piece of candy, candy bar, and the parent is getting embarrassed. So what they end up doing is they get the candy and they say, okay, sure, here, have it. And then the kid's like happy and we're able to check out, no problem. The parent has been reinforced that if the kid cries, I'm just gonna try to placate them, and I'm gonna try to just get them to quiet down by giving them candy. However, the kid has learned, hey, all I have to do is just cry, and then I'm going to go ahead and get what I want. Okay?
Thanks.
Okay. Any questions, thoughts? No? Okay. Now go back to share the screen. Okay. Here we go. So let's go ahead and look at the escalation cycle. So the escalation cycle is very much studied, and it's part of behavioral psychology, but it is stated that whenever any student, whether they have special needs or not, or any adult, we kind of go through these different steps. First, we start off calm. So that's what we look at or consider our baseline behavior. Like right now, I'm calm, okay? But then something happens that will trigger the person, okay? It could be like I'm running late and I'm gonna be so late to class and I'm gonna get points taken off. Now I'm agitated. I'm in class, I'm being asked to participate, and I don't want to participate because, of all of kind of like these events that have occurred already. And for many people who have well-regulated emotional states, they get agitated and then they kind of calm down back to recovery. However, for students and people who don't have well-regulated emotional states, that agitation can very easily turn into acceleration. And then this is the peak. This is where, again, we're looking at the top 5% of students with very significant, pervasive, challenging behaviors. They're either throwing chairs, they are biting themselves, they are, banging their head on the floor. I mean, we are looking at peak challenging behaviors, and then they de-escalate, and then they recover. Okay, so we're going to go over the steps one by one. Okay, when a student, when you want to kind of keep them in that calm state, optimal arousal of, to learn and whatnot, you want to ensure that you are rewarding and you're recognizing any positive behavior, you're reinforcing that positive behavior, you're kind of using the rule of 3. So if a student, is calm, but then maybe a trigger occurred, you want to try to diffuse it as best as possible. So you will go ahead and use low demand request. Okay, so you have the student collect the papers, have the student organize the books, and then they can go ahead and attempt 1 or 2 problems. Because when a student has been triggered, they can either go back to the calm state if you play the cards right, or you're just going to go ahead and agitate them further. Okay, so low demand request, rule of 3. Group students for success, incorporate interest, and then make connections and have fun together. Okay, questions? Okay. So again, when a student is calm, they're cooperating, they're following rules and expectations, and all of the interventions are very preventative in nature. They're, let me see. Oh, yes, I'm glad that you like that rule of 3, Adam. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm just gonna put this. Can you guys see my Zoom chat? Yes?
Yeah, but small.
Okay, well, I mean, it's everyone can see it. I just can't see it. Okay.
Where is that?
Okay, so now let's look at an example of a student that has been triggered, and we're going to try to identify the antecedent, okay? Hold on. No.
I wonder if we're going to get audio on this.
Huh?
I'm just wondering if it's going to give us the audio.
Oh, no. Can you guys not see it?
No, we can see it. We can see it.
And just
we'll
so
see if the audio comes through.
Okay, you let me know, Jared. I'm also recording this because I'm going to send it to get captioned. So it will be available to everyone just in case you zoom out.
I get it.
It's okay, guys.
Okay. I don't get it. Can you explain it?
I got it.
Okay. Here we go. Ready?
Yes.
I can't hear it.
No audio. We can't get the audio.
Maybe if you take off your headphones.
I think you can share audio as well.
Okay.
There's a thing that says in the share screen. There's advanced and computer sound only. I think that might give us the sound as well. I don't know.
Sounds right.
Oh my goodness!
How do you see all that?
You just click the buttons.
Whoa!
I'm behind the steering wheel. Sorry, I had to put my phone down between like the steering wheel and whatnot because all my neighbors are looking at me like.
Oh wait, it muted you. So you're muted. That's kind of weird.
They said I was taking selfies.
Mahoney, you're muted.
Oh yeah.
I think I have no idea what's going on now.
You're muted. Oh yeah, they already told her. I don't even know.
No, can't hear the movie either. Probably better to just go back to the way it was before.
How about she just gives us a link and we all watch it?
Yeah, the link.
Or
We can watch it using a link.
try unplugging your headphones. Maybe if
Sally
you can hear
doesn't
it.
like joining the instructional grouping when directed.
Oh, there you go,
Also
there you go.
refuses to comply, sometimes even
Sally, I need you to
becoming
come back and join
threatening
the
if
group, please.
pressed.
No. I'm
heard
sick of
audio.
that. I'm not doing.
I heard it. Yeah, we
I don't know if you can share both at once.
I hear it, but I can't see it.
Right.
I'm gonna get a snack. I'll be back.
Get some for me too.
Computer audio only shares only the sound, not the visual.
Computer audio.
Yeah, and we can't hear you.
Elliot's blocked. Elia
Muted.
is muted.
Yeah.
Melanie, you're muted.
Yeah,
So there should be you can click a button.
Muted.
It should be like towards the bottom left. You should have a button to unmute yourself.
Speaker.
Richard really got a snack.
There you go.
It's from Portos. Look.
You're still muted.
Look at your bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, bottom left.
The mute thing.
There's a microphone.
Yeah, it's a little microphone button, and you can click it, and it should give you sound back.
Or you can click up.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to figure this out. Hold on. I'm not giving up. Remember, there's a solution for everything except?
Death.
Failure.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
I've been using it with my students, by the way.
Okay. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not fun if I can't play it. Okay. I'm going to try something really quickly. Can you guys take a 3-minute break?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Just, you know, you can block your camera so you don't see me.
Oh. I want to see this.
Oh, I'm hiding myself. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Well, we can't see your screen. We can see you on the camera.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
What are you asking?
Don't
Like,
worry.
we can see your face right now.
You can stop the video.
Bueno, I'm gonna clean up a little in my room, okay?
Okay. just do your thing, guys. I will be right back. Can you see my other screen, though?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. That's all that matters.
Okay.
3 minutes.
Richard,
Hey.
you're funny.
Okay.
Maybe I should go to my side of my house.
Yeah, de una vez. You could go.
Es que los niños, you have no idea.
Así está bien.
Those non-native Spanish speakers, she said, maybe I should go to my house. And then Saul said, well, or Richard, you should probably go in and then well, the kids.
Está bien.
That was definitely Richard.
Yeah.
I do apologize for that.
It's okay.
Is it bad that we don't know everybody's names?
You guys should probably introduce yourselves. Go.
Like you said, Saul, and I'm trying to picture who is Saul.
I only know some. I'm not gonna lie. I know like half.
Anthony,
Really cleaning your room?
Huh?
Are you really cleaning your room?
Yeah, because I have like a mess. I have to prepare for tomorrow. Oh,
you guys hear that?
oh, yeah, I can hear it. The sirens.
I try to get out of the ghetto, but the ghetto keeps following me.
Over here where I'm at, it's the fireworks.
Oh, you know,
Still,
I
like months passed and they still.
it happens. Yeah.
So I think I found what you need to do.
Okay.
It looks like you can't share both your screen and the audio if sharing is enabled for everybody. So I think you have to disable sharing for other people first.
Okay.
And it looks like you can do that. Next to the share screen button, there should be like a little arrow that you can click.
Correct.
To the right. And
Yes.
there should be like you can uncheck multiple participants can share.
Okay.
And then I think you can, when you share, at the bottom there should be a checkbox to say share computer sound.
Okay, hold on.
So it's the same as when you would share your screen before, except now there's a checkbox at the bottom.
Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, let me just see if it works, okay?
To do group work, so my first week, join me back at the table. I need
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize that this was gonna be an issue.
It's okay.
Okay. No. I'm just gonna send you guys the link because I feel like we're wasting time and I definitely don't want to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Let me see here.
let's see, Becky, Jenny, Benjamin, and Sally. Please
Can you hear that?
No.
No.
Okay, we're done. Thank you. Okay. Zach keeps getting knocked out. Okay. Zach, you're back. Okay, so I'm gonna just share the screen. Sorry, I'm bummed out, but that's what it is. Okay, so this is a cool video of the escalation cycle. Even if you don't hear it, I just want you to see it. I want you to just see what basically the teacher is saying, like, I want the first group to come to over here and I want the second group to go over there. So he's calling students.
Sally doesn't like joining the.
There is audio.
I can hear it.
Okay.
To comply. Sometimes even becoming.
I can hear it.
Okay.
No.
She said no.
Okay. Well, I know it's not your favorite thing to do.
The teacher predicted Sally's behavior because it's frequent. That's why Sally will be presenting choice.
Okay.
Two equal options that allow her to make a decision.
I'm going to give you a choice of what you would like to do. You can either come back and join us at the group, or you can take out the publishing assignment from last week and finish that.
I don't really want to do either of those things.
I really don't, but I'm going to give you a choice.
The teacher has thought this out ahead of time, has the choice ready to present.
would you rather do? It's completely your choice. You get to decide what you're going to do.
I guess we'll do the publishing.
The teacher has allowed Sally to escape an activity that generally results in arguing and non-compliance. She is engaged in work rather than escalating, leaving class and doing no work.
Okay, so what was the antecedent? What occurred before she engaged in kind of that challenging behavior?
Having her join a group.
Huh?
They're doing group work.
Okay.
So she didn't want to join a group. She didn't want to participate.
Right, absolutely. She don't want to join, she don't want to participate, okay? But how was the teacher prepared? What preventative strategies okay, Adam?
He knew that she didn't like it, so that he kind of already thought ahead of like, okay, this student is not going to like this, so I'm going to need to have something. I'm going to have to be prepared for that.
Right. I'm going to have.
I think. I think what he did or the teacher did was they provided options, so there's not like that power struggle.
Correct.
So kind of like it's like A or B. What would you like to do? And then, well, I mean, the student wasn't receptive, but I think like that initial like A or B is a good preventative strategy for that.
Right, preventing it from escalating further. So you always need to have those choices kind of ready. You're only allowed to be surprised once. And this goes for anything, like especially in the area of behavior. If you know that the student is a student that will strike when they're upset, you're only allowed to be surprised once, okay? So let's go ahead and look at the escalation cycle specifically with triggers and antecedents. So what does it look like? Well, the student is experiencing a series of unresolved conflicts. So the best thing to do is to go ahead and acknowledge the triggering event. Acknowledge, like, I understand that this is not your favorite or whatever it may be. You're going to go ahead and teach a problem-solving routine. Okay, this is the perfect time to go ahead and do that, simply because the student isn't agitated, they're not escalated to the point of no return. So if you see that there's they have been triggered and they're upset, you go ahead and just very calmly talk to them about their choices. Then you're going to go ahead and prompt for them to make the appropriate choice. Using appropriate social skills, and then you're going to provide a low demand request. Okay, because again, we are not trying to, show the student that they've won, but more so we are trying to really ensure that they don't escalate further. And again, we're looking at that 1 to 5% of students who engage in very significant challenging behaviors. Adam, did you have your hand raised?
I did, yeah. I was wondering if you could talk more about low demand requests. Is that in the realm of like, I need you to do this, or like in the situation we just saw where she's given 2 options? Does that count as a low demand request, or is it something more in the realm of like to distract the student, like, hey, can you go get that thing on my desk for me?
Exactly, it's something that really does not require a lot of thinking. It's more so getting them, it's called kind of like the behavior momentum. You're trying to get them to feel accomplished for doing something, even if it's small, something small. So you went ahead and did this. Awesome. Let me go ahead and reward you for what you just did right. And then you give them something else like, okay, let's go ahead and pick up, pencils from the floor. Oh, thank you so much for, here's another positive, because again, they're going to require a lot of positives to kind of get out of that triggering funk, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And how do you institute that in such a way that the student just doesn't become kind of like the class custodian, like, because you don't want, like, I've substituted in classrooms before where it's like, like this student like does all this work but doesn't do any of like the the coursework or whatever.
Right. Well, you're gonna have to, as a team, figure out when would we use the low demands. Hopefully we are not having to get there because we have other systems in place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we are going to use that if, you know, the student has a history of, you know, biting and punching and all of those things, then you either do something that's really low demand or I'm going to go to the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Okay.
know? So again, though, it's part of a coordinated plan.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
As far as in the video,
yeah,
when she said she didn't want to do either, I didn't quite catch what he did in response to that. Did he just offer the same choices again?
He offered two. Actually, that's a really good question. Let's go ahead and see it again.
Is there a way to caption the video?
Joining the instructional grouping when directed, and often refuses to comply, sometimes even becoming threatening if pressed.
No. I'm sick of that. I'm not doing it again.
Well, I know it's not your favorite thing to do.
The teacher predicted Sally's behavior because it happens frequently. That's why Sally will be presented with a choice.
Okay.
Two equal options that allow her to make a decision.
I'm going to give you a choice of what you would like to do. You can either come back and join us at the group, or you can take out the publishing assignment from last week and finish that.
I don't really want to do either of those things.
I know you don't, but I'm going to give you a choice.
The teacher has thought this out.
So he's just reaffirming that these are your two choices.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, this is kind of that from calm to potential trigger. So we're still okay to where we have some wiggle room to work with the student. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at what agitation looks like. Okay.
Disruptive behaviors may be caused by emotional behavior and agitation. As always, the goal is first to prevent disruptions. But once a disruption occurs, the teacher should recognize and respond to it quickly. If a student is angry or agitated, the teacher should immediately attempt to redirect the student as quickly as possible without inadvertently causing the behavior to become more intense.
Caleb, cool it. Okay, everyone, I need you to get your papers out from yesterday. Those need to be on your desk. Caleb, if you do not have yours out, that will be a 0 for this assignment. Caleb, I am not going to play these games with you today. Pick up the paper or go to the office. Pick it up. I don't know what your problem is, but you will not be disruptive in my class. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What y'all looking at?
That's it. To the office. Out.
In this instance, the student was clearly displaying the signs of agitation, and the teacher's responses served to escalate the behavior rather than correct it. First, the teacher continually challenged the student rather than having a conversation or laying out the options. Second, she focused more on the problem than on what she wanted the student to do. She put the focus of the entire class on misbehavior rather than on the lesson. In this sense, the teacher's response actually enhanced the effectively, but addressing
Number 7. Problem.
And affecting a better outcome.
So this is how she should have addressed it.
Hey, everybody. I need you to get out your papers that we were working on yesterday and start on problem number 7. Problem number 7. Okay, look, you almost were finished with this yesterday. I want you to start here on number 7. You know how to do these problems. It's just like number 6 from yesterday. So go ahead and get started. I need you to make a good choice. I can see that you're not in the mood, Caleb, but I really need you to get this assignment finished, okay? Make a good choice. You need to pass this class.
You know, Mr. Carson gave me detention for nothing.
I can see that you're upset and with Mr. Carson, and you and I can talk about that detention later, okay? But right now it's important to focus on math and get this problem done. Keisha, nice job. Great voice, Caleb. Nice job.
In this case, the teacher was able to continue with the lesson, and the student was able to maintain his emotions and stay in class. The key to this outcome was the manner in which the teacher addressed the behavior by first identifying it and then approaching the student individually. The teacher also presented it to the student as an option rather than an ultimatum. Finally, the teacher provided the student with a sounding board for the agitation, but only after the student had complied.
So again, it's really important, one, to validate why the student is upset, what triggered that challenging behavior, that outburst. And then also, like they said, be a sounding board, give the student a way to win, because they're, you know, especially when they're teenagers, that's a really difficult time to kind of navigate through all of the emotions that, you know, they go through. Okay, are there any questions? So let's go through the specifically what the escalation cycle looks like. Again, when a student is agitated, usually their behavior is unfocused. They are maybe off task, or they're not, you know, their usual self. So a couple of interventions when the student is has been triggered, but now they're very agitated, is give them wait time. You're going to give them time to kind of process whatever directions you've given them. Okay, again, if you're upset and you're not in a good mood and someone's like, hey, you know, you need to just chill, you need to calm down, and it's not going to end well, you know, because you're already very agitated. So the best thing to do is to just go ahead and give the person or the student wait time. Assure them that things are going to be okay, but that they do need to listen to you. Engage them in that positive self-talk. They already feel crummy about themselves. They don't need you to continue piling on additional negativity. Give them choices, avoid power struggles, especially when it happens in class. Because at that point, it's no longer about what, you know, whether or not they're upset. It's now, you're making me look like an idiot in front of my friends, and I'm going to make sure that I show you that I'm the one in charge. Give them preferred activities when possible, especially if they're agitated. Because if you try again to push work, algebra, or whatever it may be, nothing's going to get done. So at that point, see if maybe there's a different activity that they are much more interested in. Provide them to do a concrete task. Provide the student with undivided attention if possible, and then also some relaxation strategies. You know, like, hey, let's go ahead and take some 3 deep breaths. You know, what is it? Smell the flower, blow the candle. Anything like that or put your head down. You know, just anything to kind of get them to relax on their own, because they're not able to do that, you know, the way that things are going. Okay. Questions? Okay, so let's go to acceleration. Okay, so that's kind of the next part. You know, after agitation, now we are kind of going up this roller coaster. Again, the student's behavior continues to be unfocused, and it is inappropriate, and they are now starting to exhibit threatening behavior, like, shut up, I'm going to punch you, or, you know, it's definitely escalating to where it might become physical. So when that occurs, again, you need to be calm. You still need to be respectful. You need to separate the student from the behavior, and just know that they are undergoing some challenges, and they're not seeing clearly, they're seeing red. You have to approach the student in a very non-threatening manner. What we always say is, if a student has a history of physical violence towards adults, do not cross them, you know, do not cross their midsection. Always go, you know, from the side if you have to check in on them, but do not cross their midsection, because you are definitely opening yourself up to, you know, sustain an injury. Okay, and just be consistent with the type of language that you're using, and again, most importantly, remain calm and detached. Okay. Now, what does it look like when we are at the peak? Actually, right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you what that might look like. Okay, everyone's good?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Raymond is clearly agitated. The teacher crouches next to him at his level and calmly tries to give him a direction. As the student escalates, the teacher puts herself between Raymond and a nearby student. She gives a signal for the room clear. She continues to watch Raymond to make sure he's not hurting himself. And as the students leave the room, she sits down calmly and models the behavior that she wants him to follow. The room clear is a procedure that has been taught to the class. The students know when the room clear is utilized, where they are to go.
Okay, so
Hello?
yes.
Oh no, sorry, it cut off. So I thought nothing of it.
Okay. Okay. So again, when the student again is at that peak cycle, that we know that, you know, all hell's going to break loose. At this point, we need to ensure that the student is safe, that everyone, the students are safe. And also you need to have a plan. Okay. You can't just evacuate the class and not have, you know, kind of a backup of where to take the students. You're only allowed to be surprised once. So like I said, during summer school, I was teaching and I was evacuating the class, I want to say about 2 to 3 times per week. And the first time it did catch me off guard because I was like, ugh, I did not realize that I was going to have to evacuate, but it's okay. We got this. But I ended up sending the kids, you know, to walk around, and then they ended up by the lunch benches. And, you know, obviously there was no learning happening that day. I knew that I had to prepare a backup plan. So what I ended up doing is communicating with our other DHH teacher and the interpreting aides. And I said, okay, if this happens, you guys are going to go ahead and take the students to Elaine's class. And sure enough, I had a box where if the student was starting to escalate, where, you know, someone's going to get hurt, the box had whiteboards, it had dry erase markers, it had additional extra work that they could go ahead, the paras could work on at a different class while the escalation occurred. And usually this would last about 20, 30 minutes. And then once I knew that he was good, then I would bring the kids back in. How did I know that he was good? You guys want to know how?
Yeah.
He would fall asleep.
Oh.
Usually when a student engages in behavior like this, after they've de-escalated, they are very tired. So the student would just literally go to sleep. And we would put everything back like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and look at that peak escalation cycle. Students out of control. You may see signs of physical aggression, destruction, property, injury to themselves or others. And at this point, the interventions are basically safety is the number one concern. You have your crisis plan being implemented. You have the adults that have been trained in case we do have to restrain. There's no instruction happening at this point. We are just simply trying to ensure that everyone is safe. You are providing very specific concrete directions. We always use the wait strategy, which is, why am I talking? So when the student is hit a peak, again, wait. Why am I talking? You are just really using words if you have to, but otherwise, you don't know if you say something that is going to trigger them further, or they're going to come towards you. Okay, you need to redirect. You get to get attention off the altercation, and again, separate as much as possible without placing hands on students. Okay, just because the student is engaging in such significant, pervasive, challenging behavior, that is not fair game for any adult to put their hands on a student to restrain them. Okay, you guys heard what last week a student with autism just passed away from restraint. 13 years old. He suffocated because they did the pros restraint, and yeah, he passed away.
Oh, that's terrible.
But again, when students are exhibiting these types of challenging behaviors, if there isn't a coordinated plan, everyone will start to panic. And then everyone thinks like, oh, you know, it's fair game. Let me go ahead and start trying to keep everyone safe by restraining the student. However, you know, you just really need to ensure that you have a team for that. Okay. Questions?
Nope.
No, I see a new message here. Ah, that's a good question. Okay, so Giselle asked, is there ever a strong reaction from parents of other students in a disrupted class, and how do we deal with that? Well, there's two different scenarios. I've been in classes where parents they acknowledge that there's a couple of students that have disruptive behaviors, but they also trust that the professionals, the teachers, gen ed teachers, SPED teachers, everyone knows how to handle it, and that safety is of utmost, paramount concern. Then there's others where they will go ahead and call the district, and they will say, there's a student in there and I am feeling that my child is not learning. And when that happens, though, it's because there isn't a coordinated behavior plan. Everyone's kind of, piecemealing, different token economies, there's nothing really systematic in place. So if it does occur, usually what I would do when I was in the classroom, and it affected one of the students or whatever, I would call the parent along with the gen ed teacher, and I would explain the situation. And then I would also explain, please be aware that we do have systems in place, but we wanted to make you aware that this is what occurred. Transparency is always best. Kat, yes, what's your question about disruptive behavior? I may or may not have an answer.
Okay. This is in a gen ed class. I'm teaching science right now, a 7th grade, and I have one student, and the counselor has talked to me about him, but he is on meds, and sometimes the meds work and sometimes they don't. But when they don't, he has very disruptive behavior, and he walks around in class and he talks back, and he's constantly talking, and he's sitting on the desk, and I can't take the class out because there's 37 kids.
Right.
And it's just me. So what do I do?
That's a really good question. So the student does not have an IEP nor a positive behavior support system? No. Okay. So, and here's the thing, when dealing with such escalated behavior, it's not, one person cannot solve it. It can't just be you. It literally has to be a multitude of people that have to be involved in this. So my first suggestion, my advice for you would be that we need to get a systematic behavior plan in place when he is escalated. Try to delineate, okay, what are the triggers? Okay, what are the triggers that lead him to start kind of behaving in this fashion? Remember, behavior, there's no such thing as behavior came out of nowhere. There's always a reason why. We may not be able to see it, but there's always a reason as to why behavior occurs. And then you have to develop a coordinated plan, because it can't just be you. And I know that's not the answer you want, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just thought I'd throw it out there in case.
Yeah. I'll still jot it down in my send to Kat pile. I have a send to Caroline pile. Caroline, where are you? You're somewhere. Caroline? Oh, there you are. Oh, okay. Okay, I have another question here. Yeah. We had the vice principal escalate a situation by trying to talk to a student in that peak stage. Happened to me also. The student became distraught and began threatening himself and the teachers. He ended up getting taken by police officer for a psych hold. Resource teacher was very upset that she was not called to de-escalate the situation. Okay, perfect example of if you don't have a coordinated plan, this is what happens. Okay, had everyone, from admin, all the key players known, okay, if this student is starting to threaten himself, these are the steps that we're going to follow. We're going to go ahead and get, Miss blah, blah, blah. And then we are going to give them space. And then she's going to give us like a word or a key phrase that means like, hey, we need to go ahead and switch out or whatever it may be. Because this is exactly what happens when there isn't a coordinated plan.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, Bryce, this is not safe. You should not be driving. Okay.
I had a mini emergency. I've been like spotting the connection, so I ran out.
Don't worry. I'm just saying.
I'm not like looking. I'm just looking.
Okay, just focus. Just focus on driving. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so let's go ahead and continue.
Actually, I have a small.
Bryce, you're breaking up.
Question. I know I am. That's why I have a question.
Bryce?
Hello?
Yes.
Will the PowerPoint have any information missing? Because I've been kind of in and out a bit because of my emergency.
This has everything. Yeah, it's not. It has no blanks. Good question. Okay. Okay. Finally, we're going to recovery. So with recovery, again, usually the student is very tired, or they're just very withdrawn. They may attempt to correct the issue. They may try to try to make things okay. The best interventions during the recovery phase is really honestly to focus on routine, get them back on track, also praise any appropriate behavior, and then you have to debrief the incident with the team. The team of adults that kind of were there, that witnessed it, and then just kind of try to have a coordinated plan of, okay, if this happens again, is there anything that we need to adjust? Is there anything that we need to go ahead and ensure we have in place? Okay? Yeah, sorry. Okay. Let me see which one's the best one here. Let me see.
I have a really good scenario sample.
Barbara, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
So 2 weeks ago, this student, he's not on my caseload, but the caseload RSP teacher was during an IT meeting. And so I had the teacher, it's a kindergarten student, he was throwing scissors. First of all, I don't know why this kinder teacher has a tub full of scissors and displayed just there for him to get a hand of it. So he's throwing scissors across the room and whatnot. And so I had the students exit the room and the teacher exit the room and whatnot, and had him, we were watching him in the room, but I was letting him cry it out and de-escalate and trying to figure out what happened in the classroom. So apparently the teacher was the trigger, because as soon as I was walking in slowly, trying to like calm him down and just talk to him slowly and whatnot, the teacher peeks their head in and he starts like this frightened look. And he's like, ah! And I was just like, I need you to stay out. Only one teacher needs to be in here, and that's me. You need to stay outside and go with the kids that are outside and take care of them.
Yeah.
And so what I did to de-escalate him and whatnot, I think it was sensory. I'm pretty sure it was sensory, because as soon as he got close to me, he hugged me. And so I was just like, oh, you want a hug? Like, I can hug you. Like, hug me tighter and whatnot. And then from there, I went to like the 5 senses, like, tell me 5 things you see, tell me 4 things 4 shapes or four things you smell, and like little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, he de-escalated and he was calm. I took him out of that room, brought him to my RSP room, and gave him a coloring sheet activity, and he was calm, like
Low
nothing
demand.
ever happened.
Right.
Yeah. But
Right.
it was just that the teacher was the trigger. I don't know what happened, but the teacher was not a good combination with the student.
Right. You did mention something about probably sensory, but I can't stress it enough. We really need to kind of consider all of the different possible factors. So, you know, maybe that was an escape function from the
Probably.
teacher, you know, whatever it may be. And maybe, I know most little kids, if they cry, a parent or, you know, someone will go ahead and hug them, you know, when they're not feeling the best. So maybe that was reassuring for them. So yeah, no, thank you for that example. Are you hugging a big teddy bear, Stacy? What is it, giraffe?
It's a giraffe.
It's a giraffe. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to actually just go over, there's 3 student cases. I'm just going to go over the third one, which is this student who is motivated by attention and escape. But it states right here that the challenging behaviors that we were dealing with this student involved that, you know, hitting, spitting, grabbing others' clothing, not returning to class, so meaning that they would elope, and then also they would not engage in work. So the triggers that we found were that what the student was most likely to do this when he was asked to sit quietly, when asked to complete academic tasks, or when transitioning from one preferred activity, such as recess, to a non-preferred activity, such like, you know, going back to class and doing work. The presumed functions of the communicative behavior were actually 2. We determined that the student was trying to get attention from adults and peers, and then also that they were trying to escape from activities that were not motivating or meaningful. So what we did in order to ensure that we supported the student is we went ahead and collected data, and we look at 2 different types of data sets. We look at when is it most likely to occur, and then when is it least likely to occur. And then we go ahead and look at, well, what is in the environment that is catapulting that behavior to occur, and what's missing in the environment. And then we kind of try to create and map out a pattern, okay? And then we had a team meeting with the family and also the school members to ensure, again, that everyone is on the same page. We all know what's reinforcing for the student, and we're not all coming up with different reward systems, okay? And also very important is we had to have a very consistent response to the student. So again, if the student was having challenging behaviors, we would go ahead and provide minimal attention for the challenging behaviors, and then we would also go ahead and pair it with teaching positive interaction skills. So if the student would be like, you know, screaming, you know, trying to like grab the teacher, we would show the picture like, oh, it looks like you need help. If you need help, we can raise our hand, you know, so kind of trying to replace the challenging behavior with the positive behavior. Then we also provided curricular modifications that we went ahead and embedded the students' kind of interest as well as life into the modification. So, for example, you know, this mod, Arturo lives with his mom, dad, brother, sister, and grandma. I live with my mom, dad, and sister. So we were trying to kind of, you know, show the student parallels in whatever story we were reading in class with kind of parallels to his life, to try to make it as engaging as possible. Then we also had a reward system. So we had a reinforcement system. Anytime that the student did something that we were looking for, we would go ahead and give him a reward, like we had a check system. Anytime that the student would seek attention in the positive way, we would go ahead and reinforce that as well. And then we would also give him a visual reminder of what he was working towards, okay? Because he did not like going back to class, we had to find a way to motivate him to go back to class. So what we would do is we would have him start with either going to the listening center, or getting high five from the teacher before going back to his seat. So we kind of started with a low, very positive experience for him to be motivated to go back to class. And then this is an example right here of the checklist of different things that we would have him do. So I read the sentence, I wrote the answer. It says I write the answer because whenever you're developing a behavior system, it has to be written in that student's kind of like voice. So I keep my hands to myself and I have a quiet voice. You don't want to say like, oh, someone else. It has to be from that student's perspective. So when they read it, it's like they're the ones that we're looking for to implement that behavior. And then they would get a computer break if they were to complete these 4 things. Okay. We discussed about avoiding punishment. Yes? No? Maybe so? Okay. Don't jump on at once. Did we talk about avoiding punishment?
A little bit.
Okay. Don't do it. Don't punish. It doesn't work. Okay. When and kind of like, let's say for example, if someone gets beaten with a belt, they're not going to stop doing the challenging behavior because they learned what's appropriate. They're going to stop doing it because they're afraid. So in the same sense, you when you punish a student, they are demonstrating that desired behavior not because they've learned, it's because it's out of fear. So we always need to ensure that we avoid punishment, but that doesn't mean that we can't have consequences. Consequences are kind of naturally occurring things that we have to deal with if we engage in something that's not appropriate. So just make sure that your consequences are pre-planned and there's a clear connection for like, if you misbehave, this is what happens, okay? And again, coordinated plan. Can't stress that enough. Okay, we went over this, the functional behavioral assessment, and basically, again, communicative functions of behavior: sensory, escape, attention, or tangible. Sometimes it's one of these that the reason that the student would be engaging in challenging behavior. Sometimes is 2, 3, or all of them. Okay. Not really going to go over this because this is just more behavior in depth, but just you can look at it, ABC chart. Finally, aversives, restraints, and seclusion. We never want to put our hands on a student. We always want to ensure that we support them with as much hands off as possible, because again, the research does show that students with significant challenging behaviors, or just students with significant disabilities are very likely to be abused because they're not able, to communicate what's occurred. Maybe they're not able to differentiate between, being pulled here and different kinds of touches. So we always want to ensure that we avoid any kind of restraints, aversion, seclusion. It also messes with you psychologically. It causes not only physical illness, but it could also cause physical and emotional stress. When I first started, even before I became a paraprofessional, I had to volunteer. And my mom found, I don't know how she found this place, and she had me volunteer after school program for students with significant disabilities. And, I'm here like, I can do this, I've been training for all my life. And one of the first things that I saw horrified me. And it was a student who I was later told had a medical condition, like he always had to drink water because of his liver. And but then I guess they would say, well, he's just playing you. He doesn't really need water. So they would put him inside the bathroom, and the lights were off. And it was one of those, you've ever seen those doors where it's partitioned in the middle? So they would close the bottom half and then they would leave the top half open, but they would have the student in there as punishment because he was asking for to go drink water. This was in 2003. Wow. 2003. So, you know, I was horrified. I didn't go back and I reported them because, you know, it's not the way to go. Again, with aversive restraints and seclusion, it's dehumanizing. You really want to make sure that, you know, you don't cause unnecessary stress to the student. It also causes stress to those that are observing what's occurring. It's very distressing to see a child being, you know, restrained. And again, sometimes you may need to do that. However, that is like the last resort because that's everything else has been exhausted. And again, it's part of a coordinated plan, okay? And again, you cannot restrain without having appropriate training. And if you are in a situation where you have a student where they may need to be restrained, the district will go ahead and send you to, they will go ahead and send you to some sort of training, okay? Here's a resource list of different resources that you guys can look at. Let me see here. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, how's everyone doing?
Doing good.
Okay, we are almost done, I promise.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Jarrett.
So as far as restraint, like I understand how like if you have a situation where you can predict that restraint might be necessary, then they kind of can be prepared for it. But what if like a situation comes up and like you weren't expecting it, like, and there seems to be like genuine danger? Like, what are you supposed to do?
That is a good question. You try to keep everyone else safe, and you try to keep distance from the student.
What was that again?
You try to keep yourself safe by keeping distance from the student, and you go ahead and try to evacuate the class.
All right, so evacuate is kind of the standard response to those kind of unexpected
It's better than losing your credential because you made the professional decision to restrain. Because they will go ahead and look and see, well, you could have done A, B, and C, you know, so it's best to just go ahead and evacuate the class.
Got it.
I love the 1950s PSA vibe. I don't understand that.
The voice
of the videos.
Oh, got it. Yes, very soothing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. Let me share the screen back because I'm going to give you 2 more slides and then we're done. And then that's it. I know. Oh, I should have done a montage video. I knew it and I didn't. Okay.
Friends are friends forever.
Yay! Okay. Again, guys, you can always, you know, email me if you ever have any questions or, you know, just want to say hi. Totally do that. Okay, ready? Here we go. Oh, hold on. Someone's door? No?
Not mine. Mine sounds different.
It's my clock.
Okay, can you guys see that?
Resource list.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, here we go. So anyways, it has been an honor to be your instructor for the semester. And you know, before, darn, you're gonna mess up my vibe. Hold on, Bryce. Hold on. Okay, you're still going. Been an honor, and what I would really like for you guys to kind of just take away from this class is to not be afraid of having students with disabilities in your class. I'm very fortunate to be in a position where I get, you know, many gen ed credential students and kind of impart with you that, you know, including students is not, you know, it shouldn't be done because whatever it may be, it should be done because it's a basic human right. Okay. And again, I've told you guys my story. You know, growing up, my brother was absolutely segregated, and it wasn't until 2004 that I found out about inclusion. So can you guys see?
Yes.
Okay, so the oldest of five, and I was always the one tasked to take care of my brother. And, you know, there I am, little Ellie. And if you notice in all the pictures, he's crying, and we never could find out why until when he was 2. And, you know, we found out that he was, you know, he's someone with autism. But I want you to kind of reflect and always remember that not everyone has the ability to know how to like include or, you know, be given the chance to be included within schools and communities. And I really wish that, you know, people like, you know, in my position now would include students, and because it means the world to us. Here's my brother, and he was one of the groomsmen. You guys see this redhead right here? He's part of our family, and you know, my kids know, you know, it's Tio Miguel, and you know, he's a little different, but he's our uncle. And I just want to make sure that you guys always remember that it's a human right, and just do it for those that don't have a voice, and be an advocate, because we really need advocates out there.
Yay.
We made it.
Well, I was a little lost, but I think I made it.
We made it. Okay. I kept saying, I will not cry. I will not cry. I will hold it together. So yes. Thank you guys so much. Please let me know if you have any questions, and enjoy your evening. And I'll see you guys for our potluck, right? Oh, Caroline, yes.
That's what I was going to ask. So what's happening next week? It's the potluck, but also
a final.
A final.
Yeah. So we're having the potluck from 4:20 to 5 o'clock.
4:20.
Oh my God. Right here. Go away.
Are we done?
Wait, so we're doing 420 at 420 next week.
No. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
what you do before the potluck is your business.
Jared.
I recommend not doing that to pass your final.
Anyway, so just go ahead and, you know, if you want to bring anything, feel free to do so. If you don't have time, still come, you know. And we are going to have filled up tummies, and while we're doing our final. Okay? Okay.
Does anyone want to split pizza with me?
Okay. Someone answer. Bryce. Okay. Hasta la próxima. Yes, Adam. Hasta la próxima. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Caroline.
Sorry, my
surroundings.
I'm sorry. My question is still though about the final. Is there like a study guide? What's the format?
It's in your notes.
Okay.
Hold on. Can you guys see the PowerPoint?
No.
No? Okay, hold on. Let me share. If you guys are good, you feel free to exit the meeting. You don't.
All right. Bye, everyone. Peace
Bye.
out.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So Caroline, can you see my screen?
How do I get out? Okay, never mind.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here are the topics for the final exam.
Okay.
So problem solving, communication skills, differentiated assessments, adaptations, accommodations, co-teaching models. All of this, again, it's on your notes on Canvas. And then we are having our final at 5 o'clock, same room. And I actually signed you up. You are in a group that you were missing. I think because you joined us a little bit later.
I went to campus.
Yes. Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah.
No, we can't see the canvas.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so Caroline, you are in a group of. Oh, you're in group 3. Okay.
Okay.
So the day of the final, you are going to work on a scenario. You're going to be given a case study, and then between you, Stan, Barbara, Caesar, and Marcia, you guys are going to go ahead and put all of your brains together, and you're going to type up your responses to the case study.
Okay, so it's not like a multiple choice thing. We're just gonna study what you showed me on the slide.
You're gonna bring all of your notes. You're gonna bring your notes, your book, and then you're going to be given the case study, and then you're going to have ample time between 5 to 7 to focus on all of that.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
Right. And who's are the groups? Is that on Canvas? The people in the groups?
I think you can see your if you go onto people and then you click on groups, you will see your group members.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Professor?
Stan?
Yeah, when you say type it up, like, so we have to bring in our like laptop or something?
Yes, bring your laptop, bring a device.
Into the Canvas or whatever?
No, you're gonna bring your device to class.
Right, but then we type it up and email it to you, or?
It's gonna get uploaded onto Canvas, yes. Only one person from the group is gonna upload it.
Oh, so one per group, okay.
Yeah, and then I'll go ahead and grade it.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. Okay.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Okay, bye. Bye, guys. Bye.